Today I'm going to be talking about my plan and how I'm going to make $100,000 at 18. I'm in my school's like room right now. I don't even know what this is, but we got a whiteboard here. I'm going to be breaking stuff down on here, so hopefully it makes a lot more sense. So starting off, $100,000, no matter who you are, it's a lot of money. $100,000 is a lot of money, no matter who you are, right? Because if you ask Elon Musk, richest man on the planet, why don't you just pay all of America $100,000? He's gonna say it's a lot of money, right? So $100,000 is a lot of money, no matter what way you look at it. So the first thing that I'm gonna look at and I'm gonna break down is I'm gonna do a comparison of me versus Alex Hormozi, if you know who that is, and I'm going to break down streams of income basically. And the reason I'm going to do this is because most millionaires have at least 7 streams of income. And this has been well-known information. You've probably heard that before, but I just want to break down the difference between someone trying to well, he's already worth $100 million, right? So he's got a whole nother set of zeros to this number up here, and then the difference between me trying to make $100,000 and how I could further my streams of income to match his, right? So first off, we're gonna start with me, right? Typically, for most people, the top area is going to be their job, right? For my job, it is coaching. So we're gonna put coaching right here. Boom. That's number one. Fitness coaching, that's probably like my prime time job right now. That's where I make the majority of my money doing. Coming like shortly after that, we have social media. So I'm just gonna write SM. Social media on YouTube, believe it or not, I could actually grind out and make I can make like probably $500, $600, $700 a month, which is not bad at all, but it's not gonna get me to this $100,000 goal in 1 year. That's important that I put that next to it, 1 year, because the goal is today is the 27th, I believe, when I'm filming this is March 27th, 2025. I would like to come back March 27th, 2026 and say that I have made $100,000 that year, right? So making it in the year, that's kind of the big deal to me. So, but right now, like I said, I have coaching, I have social media, I have sponsorships. So I'm just gonna put SO for sponsorships. Sponsorships, they're not paying a ton, but they can. Sometimes the revenue, or not the revenue, sorry, the commissions that I get will total up to be like $400 or $500 a month, which is great. And then whatever else they will pay me. But right now we're kind of looking at like 3 main streams of income there on the side. I do a bit of investing, so I'm just gonna put IG for investing. Starts with an I, ends with a G. It's not Instagram. Investing, I look at like a decent return. I probably make more investing per year than I do with these two right here. But investing, like you can't always just like rely on it. And I would say that I'm much more involved with these 3 right here than I am with this. This is just kind of like something I wake up and do every day. It's not exactly like my full-time stream of income, right? And apart from this, maybe there's like a job that I'll work every now and then. There'll be like a moving job. So I could just put like, just hustles. I'll put hustles right here. But honestly, all this said and done, I think that I can only come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streams of income. And 5 streams of income at 18, I would say is I'm probably on the right track, but I'm not quite where I should be, right? And especially somebody like me who's more online, doing stuff online, I should be looking at more like 10 to 12 streams of income than just, these 5 right here. But now let's break down Alex Hormozi. Go ahead, do your research on him real quick if you don't know. But I'm just gonna get to writing, right? So first off, we have acquisition.com. So I'm just gonna put acquisition.com. This is like his main business, what I think he's mainly focused on. Then on top of that, he has his school games, right? I don't know if you've seen an ad for that. He promotes it's basically something through acquisition.com, but it helps like run new businesses. Basically, that's why it's called school. They teach you stuff, right? So he's got acquisition.com, school. Then he's got social media, obviously. He probably makes more than most people do in a year just off of social media alone. Past social media, what we have is whatever he sells online pretty much. And so what I'll say is books. I know that he has a few books. I bought one of his books. I know that he probably sells a ton of those books per year. So we're just gonna write books right here, and I'm sure he makes a hefty amount from here. He said before he's done crypto. I'm not into crypto, so we're gonna put a crypto right here. Then he has, I believe he's mentioned he has some investments. So I'll just put invest. Holy crap, I didn't even spell that right. Whatever. So he has some investments, and then to keep going, he just has a list of things. I'm not even gonna lie. So all I wanted to do here was just prove the point that he has an easy 6 where I can barely come up with 5, right? If I wanted to add hustles over here, I could, and that would give him 7. Like I said, most millionaires have at least 7 streams of income. Then I also know that he has properties. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. We could go all day, right? With what else he could keep on going with. But now it's time to break down. It's time to actually break down. How am I going to get to this $100,000, right? With the streams of income that I currently have, how am I going to possibly create more streams of income, and how am I going to get to the $100,000 in this year mark, right? And so pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to have this running tally of $100,000 at the top, and I'm just going to keep breaking down more and more and more how I want to achieve this goal, right? So coming in at number one, like the number one thing that I think is gonna make me the most money next year, I'm gonna put $40,000 on the fitness coaching. And now, where some people might say like, I'm just gonna put coaching, where some people are gonna be like, holy crap, how are you gonna make $40,000 coaching? Well, I would like to say, I've done my math. I currently charge $150 a month for full power coaching, $100 a month for bench only coaching. Realistically, if I have 25 clients, let's say, and some fall into bench only, some are full power, stuff like that. If I have 25 clients and they pay me every 4 weeks, right? So I actually get 13 payments a year, not 12. That's something very important to recognize. That gives me a bit more income, right? So pretty much we got, let's just say I get 20, because this is the exact math I did, 20 times 150. And like I said, so let's say I get to 25 because some of these clients are bench only, whatever. That basically gets me to $39,000 a year. We'll say 40,000. Maybe I'll train some people online or in person and stuff like that. But $40,000 a year for that coaching, I really think that that's like the most doable one. Out of everything that I'm about to write, I really think that this is the most like steady thing. And I think for most people, when they're trying to figure out their income, they need to put their job, they need to make sure that they have a real job at the top of the list. And obviously while I'm in school, I can't go get a full-time job. And I've also actually never worked at a real job before, believe it or not. I've always just been doing hustles since I was young, and but I've never actually had a real job. Do I plan to? I don't know. That's me and my mom go back and forth on that sometimes. But I really don't plan on ever having a job. I would like to just build businesses and stuff like that. So, but I would say that this is my job. Even though I'm self-employed, I would say this is like my number one job. So I'm going to put right next to here, I'm going to put number one. Now, number two, really, I think that this one is also achievable. I really think that all of these are achievable. And real quick, I do want to mention that I watched so many of these types of videos this week, and I have to say that every single one of them that set themselves a goal, like $100,000 in a year, they talked like they knew it was going to happen. Like they spoke like there was no like question in their mind if it was going to happen. They literally knew it was going to happen. And so that's where I want my tone to be. That's where I want your guys' tone to be. Whenever you guys talk about a goal, screw money. If you're talking about lifting, you're like, I'm gonna bench 405 one day. No, you're not gonna bench 405 one day. You're going to bench 405. Don't say when. Maybe you could create a time frame. I'm going to bench 500 pounds, 405, 315 in 1 year, and say it like you mean it. Don't be like, well, maybe one day I'm going to. No, there's no maybe. There's no one day. You know what I'm saying? Make a time limit or don't, or just say that you're going to do it. You see what I'm saying? And what I've noticed from seeing these videos online, the people who sounded the most like they want to do it were the ones that actually got it done, right? So back to this, I put $20,000 here. $20,000. This is going to go towards social media. Now, most of this money, I believe, will come from YouTube, as long as I can start pushing YouTube extremely hard this summer, which I do believe I'll be able to, since I'll be home. Hopefully pick up like maybe a cameraman that can come help me out, pay him a little bit, take an investment in myself. And I really do think that this $20,000, I would say probably at least like 18,000 of it will probably come from YouTube. And I think that I can make more than $18,000 this year on YouTube. Absolutely. I think that there's a chance I make $100,000 this year off YouTube. But if I want to look at this the most realistic that I can with the best breakdown that I can, I think that $18,000 off YouTube this year is more than achievable, given by the fact that all I've done is post like reaction videos and a few videos of me talking. No, I haven't actually even gotten to like the editing portion, right? And I think that I've made about $1,800 so far off YouTube. And that's really only been like 9 months. Wow, it's like 8 months on YouTube, right? 8 months on YouTube, I made about $1,800, and one of those months I made like $700 or $800 that month. So I really think that $18,000 in a year on YouTube is very achievable. And then Instagram does monetize me. Some months is better than other months. I don't know. Maybe if I hit a viral video on Instagram, that's where the last $2,000 will come from. So I'm just gonna break this down real quick. I'll put 18K YT, and then I'm gonna put like 2K squiggle, because who knows where it's gonna come from. But I think probably off social media, even Snapchat's starting to pay now. Maybe I'll get back on TikTok. I'm not sure, but I really think this is achievable. Boom. All right, so we're already 60% done with the goal, believe it or not, right? So we're at 60K when we add these two up. And 60K is actually livable amount, right? I mean, even $40,000. A lot of people would get to this number though, and they'd be satisfied, because me being, I'll be 19 by the time that I achieve this. But me being 19, $40,000 while I'm a full-time student, I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm done, I'm satisfied. Or that's what most people would say. They'd be like, hell yeah, I'm done, I'm satisfied. But in the long term, this is really not enough to create like grand old wealth, right? If you're just making this one stream of income, you're not exactly going to be creating more and more wealth. You're just going to have one stream of income that maybe next year will be 60,000, next year will be 80,000, next year will be 100. You're probably gonna stay at 100 for some time. You see what I'm saying? You're not really creating like a business. You're not creating like money through real money. You know what I'm saying? You're just kind of like stuck in like a 9-to-5 job, even though you do this on your own. You see what I'm saying? So on top of this, we're going to need a lot more. And this list is going to need to continue going. But the social media, adding another 20,000, that'd be $60,000 in a year. That would be more than enough to sustain myself on my own, and probably even comfortably. If I was able to make $60,000 in a year at 19 years old, let's say I didn't want to go to school, I'd probably be able to live pretty comfortable by myself. But obviously, my plans are not just to be by myself forever and not, just live in an apartment forever. I'd like to buy a house, stuff like that. So, I mean, the 60,000 would be nice. But for the dreams that I have, aspirations that I have, we're going to have to push for more. And that's why I want this 100,000 in 1 year. And then maybe after the next year, I could put 250,000 on this board or something even crazier, right? But after this social media portion, now this is where we're going to start chipping at some pennies, right? We're going to have to start grinding for this money, because it's going to be hard to, for me, I really think it's going to be hard to get past the $60,000 mark. So after this, I'm going to write down $15,000 as investments. Invest. I'm just going to put invest. So investments, what do I mean by investments? So pretty much every day when the stock market does open, I do actually do a bit of day trading. Now, as stupid as it sounds, I'm not the best at it, but I do kind of know what the fact that I'm doing as where I think that I could grow my money to make me $15,000 within the next year. I really believe that that's very, very achievable. Odds are I will probably do more than this thing. That's only $1,000 a year, or $1,000 a month. Odds are I'll probably do more than this, but I have to take into account for the months that I'm going to lose. I have to take into account that if something happens in the world, you know what I'm saying, that there will be bad months and there will be good months. But I think $15,000 is very achievable. I want this to be achievable. I want to be able to talk about this goal like I'm going to do it, like I told you guys before. So after this, which I think this is very, very achievable, I think that I should put up like probably about $5,000 from stocks alone, and then I could day trade another $10,000 if we were to break that down. But after all this, we're at 75K, which is very solid, I will say. $75,000 is nice. It's enough probably to have a nice lifestyle in any other town than Miami, Florida. But yeah, you have a nice life at 75,000. But life is more than just accepting where you're at. You want to keep going, right? And so from here, we still have $25,000 to go. And well, we got here so easily with 3 streams of income, 25 more thousand should be nothing, right? Well, wrong. There's going to need to be more. And this is where my first ever, hold on, I'm gonna write the amount down first, let you guys guess for a second. What do you think I can make $10,000 on? My book. I'm writing a book right now. Believe it or not, Blake Went is writing a book right now. And this book, I do have high hopes for. I'm really going to spend a lot of time on this. I might even hire a professional editor on top of what my mom's going to edit for me. But I really think that I'm going to put a lot of time in on this book. And basically, to crunch some numbers for you, it costs $5 to make one of these books. I believe that I'm going to sell these books for $25, making me $20 in profit. And then simple math, $20 in profit divided by $10,000 is, let's put 10,000 up there. That's 500 copies only that I will need to sell to make $10,000 off a book release. And this is why most authors are not able to make writing their full-time job, right? Because yes, 500 copies, selling 500 copies, believe it or not, I've crunched the numbers, I've done all the math, I could talk about that later, how I'm going to launch my book. But believe it or not, 500 copies is very, very doable. Very doable. And I think that I will be able to publish 500 copies, get them out there, stuff like that. But I really do think that I could make this $10,000 from this, but could I make a full living off of writing? I don't think so. But that, on the good note, that should get me to 85K, putting us within $15,000 from the goal of $100,000 in 1 year. And now, right now, believe it or not, we're actually at 4 streams of income already, and we still have $15,000 to go, right? And from what I said before, is I only have 5 streams of income as of now. But if I want to grow to this number, I'm going to need to grow my streams of income as well. So that's why I'm going to put another $10,000 up here right now for, you might even know what's coming, I'm not going to lie, business. I'm like to create a business. And obviously, from saying that it's going to make me $10,000, I don't have extremely high hopes for the business. Now, do I think it's going to profit? Yes, but I do not think that any business I start within the next year is going to blow up. Maybe it will, and if it does, I'm going to go all the way at it. But I would like to start a business within the next year, get it running, get it going, and get it going the right way, not like I'm just a hustler, but like actually like a business, set up, starting to get some athletes, stuff like that. I would like to actually start like a real business that is actually profitable, that has longevity, not just going to make me a boatload of money right here and then fall off. I want to start a legitimate business that's going to have longevity, not something that's just going to fall off. But if I can successfully do this and maybe make just $10,000 from this business, I should be able to get myself to 95,000. And 95,000 is wonderful, but 95,000 is not 100,000. And this is where the elbow grease is going to come in. How am I going to grind out for that last $5,000? Well, simple. We're going to have to do it the OG way. $5,000. And I'm just going to put an arrow next to it. Grind. I'm going to need to grind out $5,000. No matter how I crunch these numbers, no matter how I crunch them, either I'm going to need to do a few moving jobs, whatever, but I'm going to have to find a way to make an additional $5,000. And what I really have this on here for, and the reason I said grind, is because maybe I could make an extra $5,000 off coaching. Maybe I could make an extra $5,000 off the book. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could make even more on the business. So this is why I leave this $5,000 up for me to figure out and for me to grind. Because no goal, it will not look like this. When I come back in 1 year to make the video, did I make $100,000 or not? And when I say that I did, I can guarantee you that it will look nothing like this. that maybe the order will be similar, but it's not going to be as exact as this. This might be, oh jeez, my bad. But this might be up here and this might be at the bottom. Maybe I quit coaching. You see what I'm saying? I can't tell you what's gonna happen, but I set this extra $5,000 for grind. So either I could do some moving jobs over the summer, just whatever I can to get some cash in, and we're going to have to grind. And I think that this $5,000 grind will be more than enough to get me to that big $100,000 in a year. And you guys just watch me for, how long are we going for? We're going for like 20 minutes. You guys just watch me explain passionately for 20 minutes on how I'm going to make this $100,000 in 1 year. I would love it for you guys to stay subscribed, stay following me, so you guys can see me do this, because I'm telling you right now, because I'm going to make this into an edit when I do it next year. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to make $100,000 by March 27th, 2026. I'm calling it right now, and I can't wait to come back and make this video saying, yes, I did it, and yes, I made more than $100,000. I'm telling you right now that it's coming. Stay tuned. In 1 year, I will be back and I will show you guys this. I'll probably play some clips of this video, and I'm going to prove that I made $100,000 in this 1 year. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, go ahead, drop a like. Let me know a comment what you think about this. If you think that it's possible, what else you think I should add, what avenues I should add. And thank you guys so much for the love and support. Blake Hunt signing out. Peace.